Hey everybody, welcome to another video on the new patch. In this one, we're going to be looking at the new Awakened weapons, the special buffs that you can get for point 4 weapons. It can give you some pretty crazy buffs. Okay, so starting off, whenever you have a point 4 weapon, it has to be a point 4 enchantment. You can come to the Artifact Foundry wherever you are, and there's a new tab called Awakened Weapons. If you click and drag it into there, you can see you can awaken it, and it costs some silver, some siphon energy, and some Avalonian energy. So basically it just costs silver to upgrade them. The higher tier the weapon, the more it costs. So tier 4 is only 200k plus a little bit. Tier 6 goes all the way up to 1 mil and a little bit more, and then tier 8's all the way up at 6 mil and 100 of each. So up to tier 8.4 ones, awakening them is going to get quite expensive. Okay, so once you've awakened the weapon, you can come and click on it, and it'll have this new stats awakened thing. So you can see it's attuned to Bigless McGee, so I'm the only person that can use this weapon now that I've awakened it. If someone else gets it, they're going to have to pay a silver cost to attune it to them instead of me. There's also something called Attunement, Legendary Rating, and Strain, which we'll talk to in just a second, and then some extra little stats here for the weapon. So basically what all of these mean is Attunement is basically you can add buffs to your weapons, which I'll talk about more in a second. You can add traits basically that do random stuff to them, and in order to add the traits or upgrade the traits that you have on these weapons, you need to pay attunement. Attunements can be acquired via combat fame. Basically, any mob you kill gets combat fame, you will get attunement for it at a rate of 200 combat fame to 1 attunement. So if I go out into the world here and I kill a mob, you can see this will give me some attunement. So we got a little bit of combat fame. You can see our attunement is now 3 because we got about 600 combat fame or more. Each weapon has a maximum amount of attunement that can sort of hold up once. So you can't just go fame farm for like hours and then come back and spend all the attunement. It basically caps out at a certain amount, and it's more depending on the tier and also how many or how upgraded it is, which I'll talk about more in a second. So a 4.4 one that hasn't been upgraded at all can only hold about 3k attunement, but if you look at this tier 8.4 one that I've been upgrading for a while, it can hold like 600k attunement, so quite a lot. Okay, so with that attunement, after you've attuned it for a while, you can come back to the Artifact Foundry, put it back in, and you can add or modify traits to your awakened weapon. So if I modify a trait here, since I don't have any, I can add one, and it costs silver again, as well as some of the attunements that you've built up on the staff, and you can use your focus to reduce the amount of attunement or return some attunement for that. So let's add a trait here, and it will choose 3 random ones that it can give you. There's a list of these somewhere. I'll try to link it in the comments if I can find it again. But there's a lot of really good ones like max health, item power. Honestly, all of them are quite good. So let's just choose item power. And you can see I now have extra item power on this weapon just from adding that attunement. Now, I can go to this and I can either re-roll it. If I don't like item power and want something else, I can re-roll it. Notice that the cost has increased for this, so I can replace it. And it'll give me 3 new ones: ability damage, max health, cast time. I'll just take max health. Or I can go and I can upgrade it. And again, upgrading seems to cost a little bit less than replacing it, and it will basically just make whatever this is stronger. So as you can see, it goes from about 18.46 max HP up to 56 or 52, sorry, max HP. So quite a big buff. But as you can see now, if I want to keep upgrading this, this costs 42k silver right now. If I upgrade it a couple times, you will see that it's slowly starting to cost more and more silver. So 42, now up to 47, up to 53. And in terms of how much you get upgraded, it seems to be like a dice roll. I don't exactly know what causes this to either be a high amount or a low amount. You can see I got like 200 HP on one, now I'm only getting like 20. So it seems to be sort of random how much you're going to get. The second stat on these awakened items is their legendary rating. And legendary rating is basically just like how many times that you have upgraded stuff or added stuff to it. So if I upgrade this one more time, you can see it starts out at 33 legendary rating. If I upgrade this, make it stronger, you get quite a big upgrade, wow. And it goes all the way up to 46 legendary rating. So as you go up, you get more legendary rating. As you add more stuff, you get more legendary rating onto your weapon. Legendary rating does a couple of things. First, it increases the amount of attunement that the weapon can hold. So now it can go claim from all the way up to 9k attunement instead of like the 3k that it was originally. Second, it makes it so that the item is less likely to be destroyed on death. So when you die in Albion, and at least in a full loot zone, you have a 15% chance for each item that you're wearing to be destroyed and made into trash. However, with these awakened items, that chance is going to be less depending on how much legendary rating it has. So the higher the legendary rating, the less likely it is to be trashed. Instead, it will be somehow added into the black market and recirculated into loot in the game. So someone will get, like, if I die with this and it goes into the black market, someone will open a chest eventually and have this Blood Moon staff in it. That's still going to be attuned to me, I believe. The third thing that this does is it increases the strain on the weapon. So you can see the strain started at 0% here, and it's all the way up to 176% now. Basically, all strain is just it makes it so that doing stuff with this, adding attunements and upgrading them, costs more. So you can see now that I have a high amount of strain, like you saw before, the silver cost and the attunement cost is going up for each one, and it will continue to do that as the strain goes up. So it's at 176. We add another upgrade, and now it's at 210%, and it costs more. Fourth, one more thing that the legendary rating does is it allows you to add more traits to your staff. So if I awaken this tier 6 one, you will see that I need a legendary rating of 110 to add the second one and a 225 legendary rating to add the third one. Whereas with my tier 4 one here, I already have it up to 55 rating, and so I can add as many or up to 3 traits. Now, just some interesting notes on these new awakened weapons that I've noticed. One is that these stats that you get with the new, how it works with the new shapeshifting is that it actually applies to both their human forms and the shapeshifting form. So this max HP that I've got will also apply when I'm shapeshifted into my werewolf right now with this Blood Moon staff. Second is that if you use a tier 4 or if you upgrade a tier 4 or a tier 5 weapon or awaken it, you can level it up in safe zones, get that attunement in safe zones. However, tier 6, 7, and 8s can only be gain attunement in lethal areas. So you have to go into the red or the black zones and fame from there if you want to get attunement for these higher tier staves. Next, another thing that I sort of found weird is that you can see if I go to upgrade this trait, it currently costs me 84k. However, if I go to add another trait, this cost also increases as the strain increases, but it's more to add another than it is to upgrade one that you have currently. So I'm not entirely sure what the point is of adding multiple traits to your weapon, but maybe it increases like at lower levels you get better RNG on the upgrades of it or something. But I'm not entirely sure. It seems like if you just get the one that you want, like IP or max health, you should probably just spam do this instead, because you can see this costs 99k. If you want to upgrade this, it also costs 99k. So like the strain increasing the cost is sort of global across all of these different traits. One of the things it says here is upgrading traits gets more difficult as they become more powerful, so you may want to add multiple traits rather than focus on a single one. However, I'm not entirely sure what exactly that means. Does that mean that the higher this is, the less I'm going to get every time I upgrade it on average? Because that's the only thing I can really think of, because the silver cost and the attunement cost is the exact same between upgrading this high level one, which got a big upgrade, in this low level one. So I'm not entirely sure what that means, but I guess there's going to be some mechanic that discourages you from just putting it all into one, but right now I don't really see what that is. Another interesting thing is you can see that I have leveled up this tier 8 one quite a bit. It's at a legendary rating of 1.4k. I've given it over 100 item power. You can see that the costs for the higher tier ones get some pretty extremely high once you get here. It's 5 million silver and 41k attunement just to upgrade this one time. So tier 4 ones, you can seem to be able to put a lot of stuff into them, but the higher tier ones are going to be very hard to upgrade. Anyways, that is everything you need to know for the new awakened weapons in this new patch. Let me know what you guys think of them in the comments. They're obviously a massive silver sink, but have some pretty crazy upgrades. So let me know what you think. I'm not a big fan of them, but maybe I'll talk about that more in another video, and I will see you in the next one.